Hi, I'm John Jaramillo, President of the Hispanic Restaurant Association. Just want to give you an update of what's going on at the Hispanic Restaurant Association since last year. We took a hiatus on the Colorado Food Magazine. We're relaunching that. We also have plans to launch the Latin Food Network later this year, have a cooking show, and just continuation of the mission and the vision. As I always stated, our mission is to advocate on behalf of the Hispanic restaurateur, chef, and now entrepreneur to open and operate their restaurants and businesses effectively and efficiently. We've done a lot of processes, new things to help us do that. Our vision statement, as always, is to educate and elevate the Hispanic community across a multi-generational spectrum. So you're probably asking yourself, what's new? Well, a lot. This year, we're moving Hispanic Top Chef to Albuquerque, New Mexico, September 29th, 30th, October 1st. It's going to be at the National Cultural Hispanic Center. It's the only federally mandated cultural center for the Latin community in the U.S. We started this year the Glendale Farmers Market. That's part of our complete entrepreneur ecosystem, so we can continue to bring revenue and customers to our culinary entrepreneurs. As I mentioned before, this is a start of the Colorado Food Magazine that's allowing us to tell the story, tell everything, and we'll continue with the Latin Food Network. We're going to launch something called the Chihuahua Verified Beef Program. It's going to be a really big deal for us. There's so much more going on. Chef Pablo, Drew Jaramillo, we have a chief technology officer, uses machine learning, uses AI. It brought us into the 21st century, so we have the ability to scale. Always had, we're always moving forward. We've had some setbacks, but that's just found that we just didn't have the right team around us. Now we do. And we're looking forward to helping every entrepreneur out there that comes to us. Thank you. Welcome to Colorado Food Magazine Season 4. We're here with LaTonya Paddock of the new Padd Group Colorado Realty, located in Castle Rock, Colorado. We're here to talk about a lot of things. So thank you for, number one, being on, and for this very impromptu podcast. But this is the launch of Season 4. We really wanted to relaunch things because we've grown so much at the Hispanic Restaurant Association. We've talked to you about potential partnerships, how all these little facets come together. But first, let's talk about you. Tell me about your group.
Well, new Padd Group Colorado Realty is brand new.
How new?
Gosh, 3-4 months old. Yeah, I've been licensed for 21 years, but I hung my license with a big brokerage and decided it was time to do my own thing. Take what I know and move on.
It's for a new path, new journey ahead of you. Has it been exciting so far?
Oh my gosh, it's been amazing. It's been such a blessing.
In what way?
Just, I think a lot of times there's just so much fear of the unknown, and now just being in it, I don't know what I was so afraid of.
Really?
It's amazing. It's very freeing, and just the ability to be able to serve my clients in the way that I see fit, I think is.
You can develop your own culture. What are the big things we teach at the Hispanic Restaurant Association is leadership, entrepreneurship.
Yeah.
And this is, out on your own,
Yes.
You're an entrepreneur. You stepped into the great unknown.
Yes,
That's a big step.
It is.
And so what do you think your biggest fear was?
Just that I would disappoint the people that I was leading, and that I just wouldn't live up to the expectations and just the level of what they deserve. That I would let them down.
You said you talk about leading them, letting them down. What do you think makes a good leader? What is a good leader in your eyes?
I think just the ability humility, knowing that you don't have to know everything, but just being brave enough to try it.
And say you don't know.
And being able to admit when you don't know something, and admit your mistakes and learn by those mistakes and better yourself because of it.
As a realtor, obviously leadership is very important, but you're leading a lot of people and very independent, very how do we harness all this energy we have? Because we're nervous, you literally have to kill what you eat or eat what you kill, so to speak, from a monetary perspective. What do you do as a realtor to constantly improve yourself?
I mean, we have continuing education, of course. Our industry is, I mean, like most, it's constantly evolving, and there's new ways to do things, and the market is changing, so you have to adapt. So I think it's just being aware of, the things that are changing, and then figuring out, okay, how can we best serve our clients with this information, and how can we deliver the message and protect them, and just be the leader and the expert with all of the new information. So
Right. There's a lot of things that change. Everybody's aware of, like, high interest rates nowadays. Obviously, in Colorado, high property values.
Sure, yes.
And everybody from California seems like they're coming in.
Yeah.
And we're like,
Bring 'em
no,
on.
no.
It's
Oh,
all right.
yes.
Hey, job security for me.
That's exactly right. I get that. So what are some of the things that you would want to tell an audience or changes that they may not be aware of, or the issues that a real estate agent faces, that changes that really constrain you, or like you have to change the way you do business practices? What are some of those things?
I mean, I guess everybody's talking about the NAR lawsuit right now, and the way commissions are.
What's NAR?
National Association of Realtors. There's a big lawsuit that we're in the middle of, and it's a matter of how we communicate and how we set expectations with our clients in the industry. I think as an industry, we're failing. What we were doing wasn't enough, and so just as an industry, we've learned, okay, we need to have better conversations with our clients and set better expectations, and really just be clear on what their options are.
Is that what the lawsuit's about?
Mm-hmm. Yeah.
From you guys are suing them, or they're suing everybody else? What's the plaintiffs and the defendants?
I don't even know all those details. Ultimately, it's the end user. I think the way I see it is the end user felt uneducated, or felt that their realtor wasn't explaining their options good enough.
Okay, so educating.
Yeah.
them. Okay,
yeah.
that's cool.
I think that's the ultimate basis of the lawsuit. I don't know if it's an actual person. I think just some lawyers got involved and saw
Oh,
a
my
small
goodness.
little loophole. And I mean, hey, if it causes us to be better, then
Oh, that's good.
everyone's
That's a
better
great
for
way
it,
to look at
right?
it. Yeah,
So-
exactly. So what do you, that's the negative kind of part, high
Yeah.
interest rates and all that. What do you love about being a realtor?
Oh, gosh. I think the trust level that's involved, there's a lot of emotions involved in buying and selling, and the fact that somebody would choose me to be a part of that they would trust me in their most vulnerable time in their life.
And you help them
It
achieve
means a lot.
their dream.
Yeah.
Their start of a family,
Yeah, to guide
or
them
somebody's
through.
downsizing, like
Yeah.
really life changes. That's got to
Yeah,
be pretty cool.
it feels really good, and I feel blessed because it's not just a transaction for me, and the way our company and our culture, it's a lifelong relationship. It's a journey, and it doesn't end at the closing table. It's a journey that I know. They have kids, they have birthday parties. I get invited to baby showers and weddings, and
Oh, really? That's
I
pretty
love
cool,
it.
especially if
I love
you're
it.
doing something right if you get invited to those.
yeah,
Very good.
it means a lot to me. So yeah, it's the relationship that means the most.
Oh, very nice. Well, good luck on this continuing
Thank
journey.
you.
Obviously, we met through, the co-working space.
We did.
We're both that. And
Yes.
You're like, okay, who's the weirdo?
He's just hanging out all day.
I know, staring all the time. What's going on here? And I have to make fun of myself if you.
It's all right. I'll help you.
I know,
I'll help you.
and you do.
Yeah.
And so, but I also, I know you have a family.
I do.
Okay, let's talk about them a little bit. And
Yeah.
Where we're going to transition into you as a mom, this and what you fed your kid. What's important to you as a consumer? In this particular case, in meat and beef.
Yeah,
because
okay.
this particular episode is sponsored by the Colorado Beef Council.
Yes.
And obviously, I'm a big beef fan. And like you said, when I told you, you're like, "Where's the beef?"
Yes, it's what's for dinner.
Exactly. The marketing works very well. Everybody knows that.
I love it.
Like, not where's the beef. Here's the beef.
It's what's for dinner.
So, tell us about your family.
Family. I am an empty nester. my husband and I have been married we just celebrated 25 years.
Oh, congratulations.
Yeah, thank you. Thank you. So we have 2 kids, adult children, I guess I should say. They're adults. They're not even.
They're always kids to us.
They're just my
Mine's
honey
21,
babies.
34, and I'm like,
Yeah.
they're all kids.
My son just graduated, my baby. He graduated CU Boulder just this May.
Well, that's right.
Yes,
Yeah,
and then my daughter, thank you. She just got married, so I have a new son-in-law. In April, they got married, so.
Wow, you've had a lot of life changes.
Yeah, so we're empty nesters. My in-laws actually live with us, though, so I mean,
do they?
Everyone hasn't left the nest quite yet.
So you're not truly an empty nester. You're just for dramatic purposes of this discussion, saying I'm an empty nester. Oh, poor me.
Feels good to say, but yeah, no, it's good. It's good.
Very nice.
Yeah.
So obviously, I met you and your sister. You guys, both of you are very fit. I look like you work out. So nutrition is very important to you. So from a food perspective, I'm the president of the Hispanic Restaurant Association. We're very interested in feeding people properly and knowing where your food comes from. So give me some of the important factors to you, if you can go in the way back machine to when you were not an empty nester, about what was important to you putting in your kids' bodies.
I mean, obviously I want to provide a well-rounded meal, protein, and just make sure that they have all the nutrition, I guess, that they need. And we're obviously, when we were young, we were on a budget, so trying to feed them well and good quality food with, our small little budget was often a little challenging.
I understand that. So what was you talking about protein?
Yeah.
And then for the sake of this podcast, since it's sponsored by the
beef.
It's beef,
yeah.
Obviously. What would be an important item to you from a quality perspective? Let's take price out of the equation for now. What would be important to you as in a beef protein?
I would say that it was probably local. It wasn't from, that it was maybe farm raised or.
So you could trust its source.
Yes, thank you. That's what I meant to say.
That's one of the things that we're really trying to emphasize.
Yeah.
Is knowing where your food comes from.
Yes.
Local ranchers.
Yes.
Local farmers. Local produce. Local, just about everything.
Yeah.
So why do you find that important?
I think it just feels like maybe our standards are higher locally, that there's less processing maybe, or unnecessary processing, maybe less hormones and antibiotics, things that we don't necessarily need in our meat that have additional repercussions for the kids.
I'm going to extrapolate from that and ask, do you think you've lost trust in the larger institutions for that they really don't have your family's best interest at heart?
I mean, I think that there's just so many news reports, where things are happening and all these stories are uncovered. So, yeah, I mean, I think they're trying to maximize profit, and oftentimes the nutritious value or quality goes out the window for profit.
Okay.
It feels that way.
Yeah, exactly. I understand that. So so you want quality. You want to know where your food comes from. So what did you mention about the no hormones and the no antibiotics and wanting to know they were raised properly?
I mean, it's just something as natural as possible, that you're putting into your kids, and to our own bodies, right? Just when we're trying to eat healthy, we try to eat clean and just not having added junk, I guess.
Right, that makes sense.
Yeah.
I'm going to ask you a couple questions just to kind of define so I can wrap my head around what you're asking. What do you mean by clean food? I know these are questions that I want to really ask you.
Yeah.
That's why this is,
good.
like I said, an impromptu podcast. But what's important to you as a consumer, as a mom, also, now as an empty nester? What do you find, and why would you want that? You don't trust. I agree with you. There's been a loss of trust amongst the larger institutions and corporations.
I think, I guess what I'm trying to say is, as a mom, maybe you're trying to recreate, like if I lived on a farm and I could just go and, any given day decide that, okay, this is the cow that we're going to eat, right? This is
Butcher,
for our food, for our table, to provide for our family. And it's just such an easy step, right? Like, it doesn't have to sit and go down some conveyor belt, and it's farm
and
to table.
you know where your food comes from.
Yeah.
That's an important part.
Yeah.
So that's pretty cool. So what other facets of family life would you consider that you want, from a food perspective, would want to feed your family?
From a food perspective,
Maybe food for the soul.
My soul needs to be well fed. I don't know. Can you
Well,
elaborate?
what about from the farm? We talked about beef.
Oh,
What
we're
about-
not just talking about beef. We're talking about
I
vegetables.
changed the subject in my head.
You're all over the place.
I didn't tell you. So
I didn't get the memo. So just in general, just
Yes.
food. We definitely eat a lot of vegetables in our family.
do you prefer organic? Do you go to the store like King Supers or any of the other Safeway? Or do you shop local? Would you prefer to shop local?
I would love if I could have my own greenhouse in my backyard. I would
Oh,
love
nice.
to grow our own food, our own vegetables. But I do not have that space or the time. So, I mean, we shop. I often search for organic if I can. And again, I think it's just because it feels better. I don't know if
I
that's
agree. Right. The fuel
I don't know
you
if it's
put in
worth
your
the
body.
extra money, but it seems like
It does. It seems
should
like
be.
it fuels the body. It makes you feel better. But that's such an important part of our mental health and our outlook, etc. So,
Yep.
yeah, I agree with you. So what other, I guess there's no other things. Do you read a lot?
I listen. I love
What-
Audible.
What do you listen to?
I listen to a lot of things, boring things. I like historical fiction as a genre in general. Emphasis on World War II is the era I like, but I also like murder mysteries, and I love watching Dateline because I'm a weirdo. So I told you I was
Dateline.
boring.
No. Well, I'm really interested because I'm a military history buff. I love all kinds of studied it. I spent 20 years in the U.S. military, so I'm very.
Thank you.
That's part of my history, and,
Yeah.
and why we do things, and et cetera, et cetera. So what do you like about the history part about the military or the military history?
Well, I think for World War II specifically, I don't know what I love about it so much. I think there was so much worry and fear, yet resilience and bravery came from something so terrible.
I think from my perspective, it was the last huge World War where it was the good guys and the bad guys.
Yeah, very clear.
And it was easy. Yeah,
Yes,
exactly.
very clear.
Exactly. So that's what I look back at that too. Because you, like, from a historical perspective, you had the Nazis and the Japanese at the time that they were just
They're the bad guy.
exactly, and then the United States and its allies were the good guys, and we defeated these two tyrannical regimes and governments and large armies. So
Yep.
yeah, I totally agree with that.
It's interesting.
Very much so. So what other things do you do for hobbies with your family? So
We, gosh, I work a lot. I'm
Oh, do
just
you?
going to tell you, I mostly work, but I love it. It doesn't seem like work to me.
well, then
so
then you found the perfect
it just
job.
takes up a lot of my time. So that's the majority. I do love to travel when I can get away. I like to sing.
Oh, do you?
Yeah, my sister and I used to be on our worship team at church, and now we go to different churches and do
no.
different things. But
And sing.
yes,
Oh.
I love singing. I don't know.
Well, that's cool. That's cool.
Water sports, I like water sports. I do not like skiing on snow, but I like skiing on water.
You do a slalom? Are you that good?
No,
Okay.
no. Mostly wake surfing. I can
Oh, do you?
do that. Yeah.
Oh, very nice.
I like it.
Oh, very nice.
Doesn't hurt as much when you fall.
That's true. That's true. Except when you get
And I
old.
work out. I do a lot of working out.
So if somebody wanted to learn more about your realty group, Colorado Realty, how would they get a hold of you?
Our website is newpadd.com.
I know it's spelled that extra D in there.
There's
so
two D's, yep. Just
how
a
would
little
they
play on my name.
spell it out?
It's NEWPADD.com.
Okay, very good.
Pretty easy, yeah.
So, and then do you just do residential, commercial?
Yes, I do residential. We do not dabble in commercial. It's a whole different world. So yeah, residential real estate.
Very nice. And just here in Colorado,
Correct.
just Castle Rock area?
No. I mean, we're natives, my sister and I. So I've lived as far up to Weld County and.
Oh, really? We're at in Weld County?
We were in Firestone.
Oh, really? I
Our
grew up
very
in
first
Windsor,
house.
which isn't
You
too
did?
far. Yep.
Oh,
So
nice.
I
Yeah.
graduated high school back with the dinosaurs. So
Windsor's amazing. Yeah. So we cover Weld County down to El Paso County. So I mean.
oh, so
yeah,
quite a wide area.
Yeah.
Okay, cool. Well, audience, you know how to get a hold of her if you want to. She was kind enough to do a very impromptu. We want to talk about beef.
Beef.
What's for dinner.
That's right.
So thank you, LaTonya, for
You're
coming on.
welcome.
Appreciate it very much.
Absolutely. Thanks for having me.
Thank you.